Hops and Stocks podcast is presented by 100 Spoke Media Group. We encourage our listeners to drink responsibly. Please note, we are not financial advisors. We do not offer or provide financial advice.
I'm Spoke affiliated from the city of Gems.
Welcome back to the Hops and Stocks podcast, brought to you by 100 Spoke Media Group. This is episode.
Hi guys.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
What's up, Hops and Stocks?
What's poppin', man?
I gotta finish my intro first, man.
I just jumped right in. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our guest for today.
He's off his game.
Go ahead. E.
This is episode 71. We will have a special guest this evening, Mrs. I believe Kathy Gray, who's a motivational speaker as well as entrepreneur. We look for her to join us here in a few minutes. As y'all can see, Mr. What's in His Can is not with us tonight.
Hey, but you get me though, man. I mean, damn.
I'm
back.
Swap one, man.
Swap out.
Swap out, man. You know what I'm saying? I think Mr. What's in His Can is probably somewhere oyster hunting. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I keep meaning to text y'all the new oyster spot that opened up down here, closed down so quick.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that downtown.
I'm like, damn, Vito didn't even get a chance to try the oyster.
Right. He couldn't go rock his oyster style.
They had bad health numbers, man, or
I don't know. The crazy thing is the dude who owns it is a Nashville cat, and he had a high-end French restaurant too, and they both closed at the same time. So I don't know if he ran out of bread or what. I mean, it was like he wasn't even open that long, and both shut down at the same time. So I don't know if it was a money thing.
yeah, it sound like
Passing out bad oyster, man. He's serving up bad oyster.
yeah, man.
Bad oyster and bad escargot.
Right.
What he failed at, he should have hired Dub as his consultant. You know,
Right.
to get the finest oyster.
Nah, these oysters ain't right.
right. Yeah. These ain't from the Atlantic, man. I don't know where you got these.
Where'd you say you got these oysters from?
Are these oysters from Ohio?
Hey, man, I know my oysters. These are not from the Atlantic.
These inland oysters.
Right. Are these East Palestine?
Oh man, I knew you was going. I was about to go there. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I knew he was going. And that's the worst kind of oyster right there.
We got to be aware, man. We got to be aware of what's going on with our water right now with East Palestine, Palestine, whatever it's called.
It's weird. It's weird that Ohio has a city called East Palestine. Man.
Right. But it's the East, so it must be a regular Palestine.
or a West.
Or a West.
Right.
Go Beans, man. I'm at a loss. Who do I kick it to, man?
Well, let me go last, man, because I have a stout and I forgot to let it rest for a second, so it's real cold. So I'll go last.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I think I can stand in for my guy, man.
Yeah, let's kick it down to Mr. What's Not in This Can. Bless. What you got,
Am
man?
I allowed to use his catchphrase while he's not here?
Sure, man.
All right. So
Man,
let's talk about it.
You sound better. You sound better at it anyway.
Oh,
I
I got a MadTree. It says number 11 Treesearch Black India Pale Ale. It's an IPA. And this is one that kind of speaks to the idea that you had about being real clear on the can about what you're drinking as far as hops.
Mhm.
So it's got 3 hops listed. It's got Citra, Simcoe, and Amarillo, and it has the Simcoe mark. So I don't know if that means the other 2 aren't in there, or maybe the Simcoe is really, really the highlight. And then as far as malts, it says Brewer's Malt and Carafa Special Type 1. And then it's got extra special black malt, caramel, and chocolate malt. And then it's got the yeast also. It's called American Ale. So like, at the bottom, it really gives you, I guess, everything that they put in the joint. Can looks pretty cool. Let me see. Yeah, at the bottom, you can kind of see where they list the ingredients and put the marks on it.
Is MadTree typically in 16s?
Good question. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I was about to say when you held it up, I'm like, I'm used to seeing them in 12s.
Yeah, and I mean the can really caught me not because it was a 16, but the can just caught me off the bat. I was like, man, this is different from MadTree. And maybe subconsciously I was thinking of the 16. I didn't even really consider it, but maybe that's why it stood out. And then when I picked it up, I was like, oh man, yeah, this is exactly what he was talking about. It's got an ALC of 7.2. It says they're on a quest to find the best IPA recipes around. Explore with us as we journey through flavorful combinations of hops, yeast, malt, and even water to discover the next best thing. This series is limited release. When you find it, be sure to get it. Well, I got it.
Yeah, I know for sure those 3 hops right there are ones that I've identified that I like in IPAs.
Okay. And I mean, I think the other thing that caught my attention was a black IPA. So here's an IPA that's black. And that's 2 weeks in a row for me. I think last week I had a black milkshake IPA and now a black straight up IPA. Definitely gives you all that hop smell like a normal IPA.
Welcome in, Kathy.
It's just so weird looking at IPAs and they black, man.
Definitely hoppy. It ain't a bad hoppy though. I don't see any IBU number on this joint, but I would venture to say that it's probably up there on the scale. I do like it. It seems like it's a little fuller than a normal IPA, so that's something I like about it. And I can't really distinguish the hops and the malts, but you can tell that it's definitely got some hoppiness to it. So with all that being said, I think I would give this a 4 1/4, man. It's a little bit different than your everyday IPA. It's kind of cool seeing it being dark as we go here. And I like the taste. So 4 1/4 for MadTree. That's number 11, Treesearch. I might have to continue on the Treesearch journey, man, since they said it's a series. See what else they got.
Cool beans, man. I'm gonna pick it up since Doug got the stout.
Just want to let Kathy know we're in the second review, so just sit back. I know you don't drink beer. That is my sister-in-law, man.
She got a little something though.
No, it's ginger beer.
Ginger beer.
Yeah, there it is.
Throw a little vodka and some lime, make a Moscow Mule.
No, thank you.
Hey, so I got this 450 North. They're out of Indiana.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I've had a couple of theirs.
I can't remember. Let me see the city. Columbus, Indiana. It's a brewery that I've actually been wanting to make it to. They do slushies.
Right.
Here. So this is called Tropical Fruity Flakes. And this is 5.3 on the ABV. And it's a smoothie style sour ale with lime, papaya, peach, pineapple, and passion fruit.
Sounds good.
I saved the crack just so we can see if it's slushy consistency. And
it looks pretty clear.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Well, now there we go. Now we get some sediment.
Oh, yeah. There it is. There's that OJ.
All right, so tip. If you ever get one of these, I would suggest rolling it before opening it. So the sediment gets mixed in instead of just coming out all at the bottom like you see. But yeah, man, this mug looks like papaya juice.
What's the verdict?
Oh, man.
Fire?
Buddy. Yeah. This don't taste like beer at all. This tastes like just fire juice. You do get some of the carbonation that's giving off some of that beer zing, but oh yeah, it's nailing everything. You're getting the lime, the papaya, peach, pineapple, and passion fruit. I think y'all would rock with it because it's not seriously sour.
Yeah, I'd rock with that.
Yeah, it's actually I'm not getting much like a sour at all. Well, you're getting some from the lime. But yeah, I think y'all would rock with this joint for sure. This joint's
I've had those before. I reviewed them a couple of times when we were doing more of the pictures. I've had a couple of those.
I think I heard a top-notch grade coming out.
Yeah, this is a 5, man. Tropical Fruity Flakes, Slushy Double XL, man. I'm mad that I only picked up one. I probably gotta go back and buy some.
Yeah, man. If you go back, grab me one.
Let me be be up front, and these joints ain't cheap. I think these was either $10 or $11 a can.
For one? Wow.
Yeah, and I think I got 3 other ones, either 2 or 3 other ones. Just because at my spot, I heard they had been selling out. So I was like, man, let me grab what they got. Or at least one of everything that they got. Well, not everything, but once I started seeing that price tag, I was like, ooh. But yeah, this fire, man, we got to take a trip up to Columbus, Indiana. I don't believe it's too far from Cincinnati or anything like that. It's a 5 for me, man. I'm gonna slide it to my visual left. Doug, what you got, man?
Yeah, well, going back to yours, Big Carib, one of his good friends brought back, I guess he visited, because I guess they have a time where you can pick up right from the distributor. And he brought back for a little cookout, man. He had a cooler full of those slushy joints.
Oh, okay.
Most
from
of
the
them
same
good.
spot?
Yeah, most of them are pretty good. I have a Listerman honor of Black History Month, Black Future. I'm not sure if y'all have reviewed this or not.
No, I've seen the can a bunch before, but never picked up one.
It's a stout, so I'm messing with fire a little bit with the lactose. Let me I gotta take my glasses off to see.
It's been a long time since we've seen the glasses.
Hey, it's one of those things, man. It's a pastry stout with bullseye candies, caramel, marshmallow, and lactose. 7.5. The lactose is gonna get me, but it's worth it for tonight. Since we have our special guest, my sister-in-law. I should never had you on. Am I gonna regret this? Hopefully, I'm not gonna regret this. It says, no one person is born great. Great people become great while others are sleeping. That's an African proverb.
Oh, okay. Can dig it.
Yeah, so let's glasses back on.
It's got to be a t-shirt, man. I got to take my glasses off to read. Or no, I think it's take my glasses off to see.
You see the
oh yeah.
I'm about to make up a word, the quotation.
Man, usually when it makes that kind of like that rose gold rim, them is usually good stouts.
They're usually what?
They're usually good stouts when it has that little rose gold kind of rim.
It's a little cold, right? So it may not give me what I want this first sip, but once we finish, I should be able to review it again. Oh, that's good, man. The nose, I mean, just going by the nose, you get like the candy and the marshmallow off the nose, and on the first sip, you're getting the little candies. I mean, I don't know what type of candies they're putting in. They just said candies.
Yeah, they said something about it.
Yeah, but this is nice, man. Even as chilled as it is right now, it's still a good stout. That's good. I'm gonna pay for it because I guess I'm tasting the lactose too. But that's 4.5, man. I mean, just to get right at it, Listerman did a nice job on this one.
Yeah, man. I want to get my hands on some of their like limited stuff. I feel like when you see some of the releases they do, they really sound good, and I know that they're a quality brewery. And we stopped by and got a few items, and some of them were kind of hit or miss. But I know they have like a couple of different bottle clubs or whatever, and might be a good idea for us to join one or whatever, just so we can get our hands on some of the other stuff they put out.
Yeah,
people talk about Listerman down here, man. Like I've been to some brew releases, and people have like pulled out Listerman, and obviously it's not distributed down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, they out well.
There's a cat that comes on the radio once a week, and I think he said that, you know, whoever is the guy at Listerman, I'm not sure if he's still there, but whoever was the main guy at Listerman, I guess he really was integral into the beer culture here and kind of teaching different breweries how to go about making brew. So there's somebody out there that's, you know, kind of mastered the craft.
I can dig it.
Yeah. One last thing. What was I gonna say? Oh, I mean, and full transparency, man, I believe this beer has been in my refrigerator since last February.
I mean that's the good thing about the stout, man. You know, it can live for a while.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of them you can get out to about 5 years, depending on what all they got in there.
Yeah, I had my wife looking at the beer like, just check the numbers to see if I'm good. She's like, yeah, it says beer really doesn't go bad. I mean, I know the whole thing about being skunk sometimes, but when we looked that up, skunk is when a beer is in light or warm weather. That's when it gets skunked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
So-
the ABV on that, Doug?
7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be my only knock.
Yeah.
Only knock. I like the double digits on the stouts. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up the beer section and reintroduce our guests. We have Kathy Gray, who is also Doug's sister-in-law, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Kathy is a motivational speaker and entrepreneur. We want to welcome you to the Hops and Stocks podcast. I think you're on mute.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can hear you.
There she
Yeah,
is.
I'm here. Thank
Welcome,
you so
Kathy.
much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for not backing out. I just knew I was gonna get a text message saying, Doug.
You know what? Let me
I'm not
text you
doing it.
real quick. No, thank you. No, Doug has been my brother-in-law almost 20 years.
Wow.
Great family, and we decided to keep him. So yeah.
Right. Thanks.
All right, Mrs. Kathy. We have your bio here. It's a lengthy one, so I'll allow you to summarize it for us and give us some detail on your background, what you got going on.
Okay, basically, I'm originally from California. I'm actually Doug Toller's sister-in-law, married his older brother. I am actually born and raised in Texas. I actually majored in marketing, and I am the first female to hold the ISO security compliance for the government, first ever Black woman to pass the test. So I'm IS security, ran major data centers, ran for some major car corporations. Unfortunately, I can't mention, worked for some major, how can I say it, aerospace locations. So I've been pretty much 27 years in the technology field. So I'm more of one of the high-end hackers. I had a team I managed that was actually overseas. I had about 47 individuals that worked for me. And I made some moves that women was actually told that they could not do. And I decided to break that barrier back in 2008. My husband and I moved here in 2013, and I took over a major company out here in Cincinnati. They did not know I looked like Catherine. Right? I'll leave it at that. They was very shocked, and I decided to come in and make a little diversity. And I shook the carpet, and I said, "No, this is how it's going to be. This is the way it is." And I left there in 2016. I retired at the age of 46. Taught high school. I wrote 3 programs for a high school: technology, building business, and entrepreneurship. And the program still runs today, so it's going on 6 years old. And I opened up my own transportation company, first Black female here in the city of Cincinnati, and doing very well. Now I'm working on my second company, and I'm looking to take over a contract here in Cincinnati. So that's pretty much about me. I got my husband. I have 7 children, 10 grandchildren, and ride a motorcycle, known for cancer. And if I can step over, I'm the first Black female on a Harley Davidson t-shirt, which is 11 total, based out of here in Cincinnati. So that's me.
Man.
We
Okay,
didn't give us-
we got to
we didn't give us
rewind
nothing
because there was a
else.
whole lot of
Hold on,
firsts.
I don't even know where to start, but
Yeah,
hey, we just want to thank y'all for joining the Hops and Stocks podcast.
Yeah, I mean, jeez.
Like,
Hey, well,
Let's go
welcome to
back
my
a little
world,
bit.
man. Welcome to my world. Every time we talk, she just goes on and on. But we need that. That's good energy. I love the passion every time we talk, Caddy. So
Yeah, and I appreciate that, you ain't shy about what you've accomplished and you let people know, because, a lot of times they want us to kind of be quote unquote humble. And yeah, I'm like, nah, man, you I think you mentioned 3 first.
right.
Three first Black woman to do things. So I'm gonna take it all the way back to your first. I think you said the first Black woman, something with IS. I'm not familiar with
IS is ISO security compliance, where you do things for the government that the common normal people cannot do, which means you have to have a lot of knowledge. I was in a room of 51 men, and I was the only female and the first female to pass that exam.
Wow.
I think it was only 6 of us that passed, and I was number 1.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So talk to us a little bit about that experience. You said you were the only female in a room with 51 men. Just talk about how that experience was for you and how you had to navigate that experience, obviously being the only female in the room.
Well, actually, unfortunately, I can't mention the company, but they are
Sure.
a car maker. It's a major car maker that's in California. And I had a boss who believed in me. And every division was ran by men in the technology. And I told him, I have no idea what this means, but if you give me an opportunity, I'll prove it. So from, I think, November the 17th of 2025, I took over 2 divisions and I pretty much mastered their division within 9 months. One, because someone said I couldn't do it. Number 2 is that I knew I had to drive it. Number 3, I had to prove to them that women can. And I didn't open the door, nor did I use a combination, but I kicked the door open to tell women you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is, but I was pretty much well known across all of the motor industry as the Kathy Gray, which is what my name is now. But when people met me, I didn't look like a Catherine Gray. So the way Kathy came in is when I started working for the company where I think I traveled from Denver, Dallas, and California. So I lived in the air pretty much 3 weeks out of the month. And they paid for wherever I went, whatever I had to do. So if I showed up, it was not good for you because you never met me. Pretty much tap you on the shoulder, come with me. You probably was unemployed and would never work in IT again. So I was pretty much a cyber cop. That's what I actually did. So I carried 2 phones, 2 laptops, and a phone that didn't exist. So I'm gonna let you read between that.
Man,
Yep. That's number 1.
I like that we have a guest that we gotta tread lightly, man. Because
Right.
She like the Undertaker of tech, man.
I'm here thinking, I'm like, man, do we need to save this episode for Women's Month next month, or like?
I'll come back. It doesn't matter. I'll come back.
What were these people doing? Like, what would be something that you would have to?
See, you asking
somebody
the
on the
question,
shoulder.
man.
Yeah,
You
man,
gonna
she just
get
okay,
up.
told you to mind your business.
Well, let me tell you one thing you guys can actually find on the internet. I actually started working for this certain company as an analyst for just basic data. So knowing my mind was, I'm curious, I got a little curious. I used a certain ID and I was able to get into the company's file. I can write a check, cash a check, sign a check, mail a check, and approve a check with one ID, which was a no-no. Company did not know they had a firewall that was wide open. So I just started playing, thinking, oh, this is crazy. I started running some scripts. I'm like, no, this couldn't be real. So long story short, I talked to my boss. I said, hey, we need to talk. And I said, no disrespect. I said, but I think you're going to fire me. And I hadn't even been there for 30 days. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I just wrote myself a $3 million check and I got it. He said, well, what do you mean? I showed it to him. He said, how'd you do that? I said, because you guys don't have the proper firewalls. How'd you do that? I said, I was just pecking and I got in. And come to find out, there was a gentleman that had been taking money. I think he had took over $300 million. And yes, it can be found. I will not tell you who, but he's still doing time with his friends. And I happened to find it. And have I ever seen the CIA, the FBI, the NIS, the NIA, all those in person? No, but that day I did. Well, no, the following day I did, where they shut the whole division down. And when I say they came in and lifted up the whole department, they took the whole department, and then I got promoted because I found it was pretty much like a wormhole. I got in and I was like, you shouldn't be able to do this. And then I mastered what I did, and I had no idea that I was that good, but they put it in front of me. I said, well, let me see what I can do. And I went to it and like, boom. So that's pretty much how it happened.
Too. Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Blast, what was the second first?
The second first was.
I remember the third first. I can't remember the second.
Well, the second first was, so you guys, let me tell you, I can actually say this one. So do you know when you used to see the direct TV trucks and all the cable places, cars and parked everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you used to see them at McDonald's, at the mall, just shopping, laying, sleeping on the side of the road. Remember that?
Yeah.
I helped create the program to track them. They can't do it no more. So they hate me.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you a hater.
That was a track. That's why you don't see them. That's why when
They
they
can't
come
go
to
get
your house,
lunch.
they in
They
and
can't go
out.
get lunch without Kathy Gray on their ass.
No, it's like, well, we know. So what we did is we created a program called Click, and you can probably still find it. Click was able to tell me where you were, how long you was there, how long the job did. And it was a team of gentlemen. I said, no, you guys are not thinking. So I do something called the whiteboard. So we worked on a whiteboard and I showed them the process from start to finish. How long would it take this job? And they'll probably get 3 or 4 jobs a day. And they said, oh, well, it's going to take me longer. Well, actually, you can do 6 to 7 jobs a day. Let me tell you why. And they pretty much hate me. And I did that for DirecTV. Then I got bored. I just got bored. Then I started working with the aerospace. And I can talk about this part. You guys remember when 9/11 hit? I was actually in Dallas, Texas, and that was my team that actually found those. So when you hear people make a statement that infrared, you can't see through stuff, not true. So I'm over the 20 years. So that was my team that found those people. And I was locked down for 3 days in that building that was located in another state that I can't mention. And it's true. I'm gonna let you read between the lines. We can see, we know. So a lot of those victims that were found, that was actually my excavate team that actually went in. So yeah.
Wow.
I'll take a drink.
So you can see between you can see through your walls. You got the technology at your house, see through your walls.
Well, you know, let me tell you something. Have you guys ever paid attention
don't come on my house with that technology.
You already know I know, so stop. So if you guys ever paid attention, and this is knowledge, it's already out there. It's how you say it, but I'm gonna be black and white and transparent. I've already signed. I've passed my agreements. Have you ever paid attention to the light that's on your DVD players or stuff like that? Have you ever paid attention when you sign your new documentation? Read the fine print, because they have a right to monitor you, but people sign it and don't know what they're reading. But it's legal binding document where in my home, this is what we do. We close off all of anything that has a camera, anything that has a light, we cover it up. Because why? We can see it. We developed that technology back in 1997. Does it exist? Yes, it does. Is it old news? It is to me. So scanning of stuff in the store, the barcodes, I'm telling my age. I also was the first female to help create that with a company called HEB, Henry E. Butts, we was out of South Carolina. So all that is just letters that made into numbers. So please don't ask me. There's a lot of stuff I know I don't talk about. If I ever disappear for a couple of weeks because I'm doing something. And Doug probably can tell you I disappeared a couple of times when I was gone for a while. I think I was gone for a week. And I may get that phone call. I actually got a call in 2018. And the school, matter of fact, the FBI came over to visit me. And I'm like, what do they want? You know, my principal's like, guess what they're here for? I'm like, I don't know. They know who I am. What do you want? General said, well, we need to talk. I said, we'll talk about what? Well, I need to know, how did this student score this high on an IS exam? And it was her first time. I said, because I was a teacher. I said, look me up. You know my ID. You know who I am. Well, we were just wondering. And so she actually now works for the White House. So I teach people and teach the younger generation how you can get a job and not get unemployed. I can go and work anywhere I want to. I don't have to start at the bottom, because number one, not that I'm confident. Number two, not that I'm good. Number three is that because I know my stuff. That's all that matters. You don't have to know anything to get a job. You have to know something to make folks believe, and I'm good at it.
Man. Hopefully ain't nobody coming knocking on my door because we talking to you.
Right. I feel like I'm
You answered the wrong question. You asked the wrong question and get
Man,
locked up.
yeah.
I have a relative that had told me a long time ago, was like, yeah, we can see through your house. It's like, yeah. we can, and this was many, many moons ago. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, there's technology available. He was like, I can tell you exactly where you are in your house right now and what you're doing. I was just like, hey man, that's weird.
Well, is that
well, it's
body
not
heat? Is that body heat? Like checking the body heat temperature?
They actually do body heat, and it's also pulsation. So I'm gonna give you guys a trick, and I don't know if you guys ever thought about that, because I can't mention the name of the company, but have you ever paid attention back in the day when we used to have hubcaps? Y'all remember hubcaps?
Yeah.
Do you know why they stopped using hubcaps?
People in Dayton used to steal them all the time.
Well, that's where you from. You was probably it.
Definitely had mine stolen.
Right.
Well, because hubcaps is what they use to put foil in when you were speeding. Never thought about it. So those guns on the top of that car, I cannot say, and the guns that they use to clock you, my team, we built those guns. So friction, that's why they say when you're coming up on a cop, don't hit your brakes because it's gathered by friction. So when the foil is tied, so pay attention to these guys that got spinners. Pay attention to the spinners. There's a small piece of foil looped to there. They can fly and they'll never get it because the guns are actually made from friction. That's actually how I might be telling too much, but whatever. I haven't worked for them.
I mean, none of us have a hubcap, so it's not like we can speed.
No. I'm talking about people that will have spinners on their car. Anything that moves. So if you put a piece of foil on your rim, it throws the gun off. That's what it does. That's the only thing.
This is a done deal. I'm about to go wrap some foil around the rim right now.
Little Reynolds wrap.
So not that I'm admitting, but the Lord know I can do 14 hours in 12, and I'm 12, sometimes 13. But it's because it's really the friction, and people don't get it. So think about it. When they clock you, how can they clock you? You can pass a cop doing 85, and he'll never know your speed until you hit that brake.
Right. I did.
I had always heard.
I've always heard that on the brake.
Yeah.
I'd always heard that.
Yeah, and that it's actually the infrared gun, so you can actually go and look. That's what they use. So we built that technology. We actually built it, and I think that was back in 1997. Even the fingerprint, I was a part of the team that helped with that as well. So now fingerprint and your eye scan. That's old to me. That's why nothing shatters me at all.
So you basically built all the things that don't allow us to have fun anymore.
No, I didn't build it. I was a part of the technology, and there was a lady, her name was Kelly. Can't say her last name. She actually got me a job because I was good at what I did, because I used to support Mac computers when they were the blocks. Y'all remember they were the cubes?
Yeah.
I used to support the cubes, and I was so good. I didn't understand why I was so smart, but it was because I wanted to know. And every job, I was down probably couple months, boom, I was promoted because I understood what the technology did. And they pulled me from there, and I went and got a secret clearance. Matter of fact, a top secret clearance, which I still hold today, that if they call me, I can just walk into any building. So going on the base, they were like, I said, just scan my ID. And they were like, oh, just tell me where to go. So I can say.
So you like hidden figures?
Huh?
So you kind of like hidden figures a little bit?
You can say that. I'm one of the youngest females that actually started actually became the youngest scan coordinator ever in history. And that was with Henry E. Butson. I think I was 20 years old.
I didn't know this.
I was about to say, I don't even know if we're working.
Because you never asked.
I mean, but all the talking you do, I thought you would maybe share some of this information.
Some things you don't talk about, but because I've passed my 20 years, and a lot of the people that were my leaders are either probably no longer here, but I get called every now and then on some questions, especially by DirecTV, which is AT&T, when they do the tracking software. Like the company I have now, I actually help them with their tracking software. Something's wrong, I'm like, look, just pay me. And I charge $180 an hour, minimum 8 hours. Even if I do 2, I may only do 4. So that's my minimum.
So tell us about the new company that you're running now. Tell us about what it is you're currently doing.
Okay.
So when you're not, MI6 classified,
Jacqueline Bauer from 24.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about the first one I have. The first one I have is I work with adults with disabilities. I've been doing this since I've been here for 10 years, where I provide them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I help them with their daily life, showing them how to get back in society. Doug is he's very familiar. They live with me 24/7, just giving them a different part of life. So I've been doing that for 10 years. I started my own transportation company with the city, where I only pick up child protective services students. You'll never know who we are. You'll never know when we pull up. You'll never know when we leave. My job is to pick them up at home and take them to school, take them from school, take them from home. There was a need in the city because they could no longer ride public transportation. And I was like, let me try that. Opened the company up spiritually 7 years ago. 2014 is when I opened the company up. No one would give me the time of day, but I kept knocking on that door saying, I can do this, I can do this. No one gave me an opportunity. And when the planned pandemic happened, I said, okay, now I'm gonna strike. And when I struck hard. So my first 3 months of the company, I made $85,000 in 3 months. And the city pays roughly the people $11 and $12. I start you at 15, 16. Next year, I'm gonna try to get the much bigger contract. I'm moving people up to $25 an hour. You may work 2 hours, I pay you for 4 regardless. And I believe God has just opened the door and blessed me. Now, next month, I will be opening up my adult disability center for adults with disabilities, and I'm teaching them technology, how to use technology. Rayvon and Eddie, or the two that lives with me, they can now use a computer, which people said they could not do. They could not write. Now they can. And that's what I teach. So that's called We Are Here. So We Are Here is going to be based out of Blue Ash, and which is where my other company is also based out of Blue Ash. And that's all I do. And I'm hiring people that want to help people with disabilities.
That's good work. We ain't gonna even touch that pandemic statement.
Well, I believe the Lord allowed things to happen to push us into things that we should be in. Because I told the school, even before I opened it, that I was quitting in 2019. I said, I quit. I told them in March, oh, you're not going to quit. Watch me. Because I was just that good. I said, y'all just boring. And I quit. Hadn't even started my company, but I had enough faith to believe that it was going to happen. And it did. And I told them, you're going to let me in. So I did this number on the people that was interviewing me. All they heard was my voice, and I was excited. Then after I signed the contract, that's when they figured out what it looked like. Too late. I got it.
So, Kathy, tell our audience on how you expanded your transportation into. I don't know if you ever did. You talk about that already? How you expanded it into Texas? How you have a branch in Texas?
So my first year in the company, I started in 2020. 2019. And I knew that they were in other states. And the gentleman that I was working with, I ride motorcycles, I ride Harleys. And we just got to talking. And I said, hey, I want to try out the states. He said, what do you mean? I said, don't y'all do this in other states? He said, yeah. I said, well, I want to do it. And he told me where you want to go. I said, where are you located? So I have a goddaughter, and my son was based out of Maryland. And I just hopped in my car, went up there for a week, told him I'm gonna do it. And I got employees in Maryland. And then I said, I want to do Texas. So I did Texas and Maryland together. And as of 3 weeks ago, I've taken, as this is new to you, Doug, I've taken over Louisiana. So, yep, doing Louisiana. So that was kind of new to me. So I'm gonna be gone for probably 3 weeks because I gotta go scale the area, look for the people. I think the pay rate down there is like $12. I'm offering them like 17, 18 because it's good money. All you have to do is have a clean background, can urinate in a cup and it's clean, drive your own vehicle. I pay your insurance. I actually pay you for your mileage. Pretty much, I got people making almost $2,100 every 2 weeks, easy money, doing this. And we're doing.
I have a follow up, but go ahead, E. I think you had a question.
No, I'm just.
Are you okay? He's like, what?
It's so much information. I'm just trying to process everything. Seriously, like it's like
you have to believe in yourself. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and also I want to let you guys know this weekend I'm going to be with Raquel, the bougie banker. She's one of the youngest millionaires ever. I think she's like 33. I'm on a platform at the Breakthrough Conference. So this is my 4th event over the last 5 months. So I'm traveling. And if you guys allow me to share my screen, I want to show you something really quick.
Yeah, do it.
Let me share my screen with you real quick.
That's twice in 2 weeks that we've had someone take over.
Yeah, when we know when people are serious, when they start sharing their screen.
Yeah, so if you guys can see this, that's my new book. It's called the 28 Days of Me. And basically what it is who the Kathy Gray is, what I've done, how I've done it, giving you inspiration. And this book is a prelude to The Child by the Lake. So Doug may not be aware, but my mother committed suicide. So I run a show every other week talking about why suicide is important and why people do it and why we need to be aware. So, and this is the one that I'm here for this weekend. So the breakthrough experience, as you can see, we are doing something different and we're now going to travel and it's going to be us. And I'm going to basically tell people how to launch that business, how to take over, how to make sure they understand that you are who you are, and whatever you want in life, it's yours. Just keep knocking on the door. Get the right people in your corner. Stop telling people, well, I'm not for sure. I don't believe in that. So what I do is I go in and I show you how to do it, because I thank God, knock on wood, I haven't made any mistakes. I believe in everything that I do. My husband's actually launching a company. So we're just going to totally work for ourselves, quit all 9-to-5s, and prove to people it's possible. You know, it's possible. The word says all things are possible with Christ and you believe. And I've worked, retired at the age of 46, doing very well. And the only way I'm able to do it is because I believed in who I was. I took it, I grabbed it by the horn, and I kept running. And I cannot say it enough. Do not jump out in a business. Do not jump out and say, well, I think no, it doesn't work that way. Save your coins, use their money to fund your money.
That's important. Use their money to fund your money.
Oh, trust me. Yes.
Where would you say your passion comes from? Because you're very passionate about everything you've done.
It may get me a little emotional. My passion came from being homeless when my kid's father left me. I was homeless with 3 babies. Wow. Nobody believed in me. Nobody gave me a chance. I had to steal to feed my kids, and I'm still honest about it. And I hid it from my children. My son told me about a year ago, he said, Mommy, I remember when we was homeless. I said, no, he wasn't. He's, Mommy, I remember. And I thought I hid it, but I told myself, no one will help me, but I'm going to get up. And I promise God, if you get me up, I will never turn my back on you, and I'm going to give. And that's what I've spent my time doing. Doug can tell you, I'm always traveling back and forth to Columbus, feeding and teaching children, 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back, teaching Bible study, telling them how to open business. I did that for almost 3 years. People thought I was crazy. I said, I don't know why I'm doing it, but God told me to do it. Gabriel Day, if you know who Gabriel Day is, he was one of the young men that I helped mentor. He's now a big-time rap artist. People told me I was crazy, but I do things that are uncomfortable. And my passion came from struggling. A mother who lost her mind. My mom spent her last 4 years of her life trying to take mine, from suffocating me, drowning me, and I got away, stabbing me, I got away. And the last time she tried to shoot me, and it was nobody but God. So that's what my new book after this one is called Child by the Lake. I watched my mother die. And I said, I will never, ever turn my back on anyone. And that's why our mental health is very important. You've got to talk about what's in that thing. Doug, remember, my son committed suicide, 7 years ago? I almost lost it, and I got angry with God. How is it that I'm a pastor and you let my son kill himself? And I locked myself in my house for 30 days. I said, I'm not coming out until you talk to me. God said, I allowed 1 because it could have been 4. And I never understood what that meant. My grandkids was with my son hours prior. He dropped them out, then he killed himself. And I understood what that 4 meant. And I was okay with it. I was okay. Because you never know what God is doing. You got to be prepared to walk where it's uncomfortable. And I like being uncomfortable because it's going to make me understand. That's where my passion is. Showing people it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to say I struggle. It's okay to say I failed, but don't stay there. I did not stay there. And my kid's father decided to be gay, but I didn't stay there. I did not hate him. I did not detest him. I helped him. I gave him back child support. $838 a month I gave back. My husband, Thomas was like, why would you do that? I said, because I don't need it. Do you not believe? Do you not know God blessed me? And I had to bury my kid's father 4 years ago. That's what my passion is. I'm going to give back, because if you learn to give, God's going to give back to you. And that's my peace.
Wow.
Man, I don't even know what to say. I'm glad you asked that question, because we get this so many times in our show where, we have our guest on and they're so strong and powerful and successful that you might get the wrong impression and think that, this person has always been that way. And if he wouldn't have asked that question about where your passion comes from, we never would have gotten your journey. We just would have gotten, Kathy Gray. And it took a lot to get to the Kathy Gray. And I'm glad that you shared that with us.
Yeah. And Kathy, I really appreciate you being vulnerable, because you really, you shared some things, you shared a lot of vulnerabilities. And I'm just wondering, when you speak, when you're doing your circuit, are these some things that you share with the audience, or what are some things that you hit as you go around and speak? I know you didn't just crop your face into that picture of that flyer, did you?
What?
That flyer, you just didn't crop your face right there on that flyer, did you?
Are you saying that she just popped her face in there and she ain't invited? Is that
No, I'm just saying. Your face looks like it's all by itself a little bit.
Hold on, we gotta can we pull it up again?
You sure can. You want to see the one in my book? Is that it?
No, I think he's talking about the conference that you're speaking at.
Oh no, that's let me show you. That conference they actually pulled that, and I'm shocked. They pulled that from, let me do this. They pulled that from when Doug first met me. Can you guys see that? That's when my hair was short.
Right.
This is pandemic growth. I've never had long hair. I've never had long hair.
I gotta say, it does look a little questionable now that Doug
cropped in. I'm just playing. I just try to lighten it up a little bit, because you got deep on us, so I just want to make sure.
But this is because I'm doing filming. I'm doing a biker show, so I had to go straight. Yeah. This is what I look like. I'm normally curly, and I just wash and go, kind of like my brother-in-law's hair is curly, but that's what I'm like. So this is going to be people's first time seeing me actually with straight hair. I don't wear straight hair.
Yeah, let's talk about this bike life that you got going on. Tell us about that.
My husband went and got a motorcycle in 2008. I rode behind him, and he was like, he made me nervous, because he was like trying to hug me and then showing off. I'm like, let me off. I'm getting my own. Get my own. And he was like, no, babe. I'm like, and I didn't have a license, didn't have anything. And we actually went to a place in California, went to go buy the bike, and I actually want to pay cash for it. And the people, because of the color of my skin, we was dressed in, I had on some blue jeans, a ripped shirt, you know how the style is, and I had a hat on backwards, didn't want to wait on me. And I was very offended, and I cried because I didn't think that existed in California. Went to another dealership and became friends with the Bartels. So if any of you guys decide to buy a motorcycle, 2 major dealerships know me personally, and I know the owners. And I told them that I wanted that bike. They said, how you going to get it home? I said, my husband's going to ride it. I didn't have a license. Got it home. I looked at it. And I'm like, well, girl, what you going to do? I enrolled in the class, and I started riding a week later. And I did 7,000 miles in 4 days. Last year. Sure did.
Right. She'll just roll down to Florida on the whim. She had it all mapped out where she was gonna go and where she was staying. I'm like, golly.
Yep.
I think that was just a weekend that you did that.
Yep. Huh?
You got a street glide or a road glide?
Oh, I'm actually have a street glide. Now I'm actually getting ready to get the road glide. Matter of fact, I just took my bike up and told them I want a new one. They said, Kathy, you just bought it. I want a new bike. So they're looking for the one that I want. So I promised myself.
Will this be your third bike?
Oh, this would be my 5th bike.
Oh shoot. Okay. I remember 2 of them.
Yeah, you didn't see my other 2 blacks in California. When I came here, I had the red one. Now I got the blue one. Now I'm finna I want another blue one. If not, I'm gonna blacked out. So this bike here is 893 pounds dry. The next one is gonna be 940 dry. So it's a little bit, the fairing is much bigger. So I'm gonna duke it out like I always do. But I made everybody a promise that I'm riding for childhood cancer, and I'm gonna put 10,000 miles on my bike every year. So I put 31,000 in 2 years on that one bike. So here we go on another one. And I actually ride. I ask people to give me a penny a mile. So I raised 9,000 my first year, 7,000 this following year. No, 7,000 then 9,000. So I ride for childhood cancer.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Tell us about I remember we used to talk extensively about Coinbase and crypto. How's that space for you?
Well, you know what? Honestly,
Same as everybody else.
Same as everybody else. But I'm definitely in. I think I shared one with you, Doug. The Mulan. I had a dream about it. People told me I was crazy. It's a stock. It's MULN. I had a dream about it, and people did not believe me. I bought transparency. I think 1,500 shares. I make $300 in 2 days off of it. Another one I had a dream about. Everybody know about the Qs. Everybody know about. I don't know if y'all paid attention to RIDE. RIDE. It's the Nordstrom's motors. I need for you guys to go and get it. So what I do is I buy baby stocks and I pay off everything with my baby stocks. I'm definitely a big player. I think the biggest one I had was Tesla, Amazon, and Apple. I lost 2 years ago at Apple. I lost 14,000 in 2 days, and it took me about 4 months to get it back. I wasn't afraid to play. You okay? He said, "Whoa."
No, yeah, that 14,000.
Yeah, I lost 14,000.
That hurt me, and I ain't even losing nothing.
Right.
I thought you had the Holy Ghost. You quickened for a second.
No, that was the hurt ghost right there.
Well, no, I was actually learning how, and I wasn't really good at calls. I didn't know. And the person that was teaching me how to do calls, I didn't grasp what they were saying. And I found out they didn't really know. I said, okay, let me figure this out. So I taught it to myself. Yeah. So I actually play calls. I don't do puts because I don't feel the put thing in my life, but I do feel the calls. So if you guys got DraftKings, I actually had a couple of, I actually made about $2,000 yesterday off of DraftKings over the weekend. That was that. I'm definitely into, I want to get you guys to get a lot of electric stock like the EVGO, buy those batteries and hold them. So if I give you that, and also
you getting all this down, E?
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, I got the is the MULN, is that Mullen Automotive?
Mulan, yeah.
Ride is Lordstown Motors, and you said EVGO.
Yep, EVGO. Those are ones that I bought a lot of, and I actually got Mulan at 17 cents.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it's about a quarter right now.
Yeah. People say, "Oh, that's just little stocks." Let me tell you something. You can buy almost 2,000 stocks, hold them. I actually bought LAD when LAD was $9. I ended up capping in 3 years. I made $31,000 off of LAD, and I had 280 shares of it. So LAD was a stock that one of my good friends gave to me. It was like $9, made up the $323. So people got to understand, don't buy it to spend it. You buy it and hold it. So whenever I buy thousands of stocks, I buy them and just leave them. You know, I actually got SNDL when it was like what, 21 cents. It made it up to 4 something. Snatched that bag, paid off a few credit cards, paid off a truck. Just think about it. Don't look at the price of something because it's a penny stock. Look at the long term of it. And I'm telling everybody now, buy a lot of electric. Doug, you did pay attention over here by my house. Tesla's over here.
Yeah. Are you over by Forest Park?
It's like a collision.
Yeah.
A collision.
Yep. They're there. Also, they got charge points. EVGO is over here. And also EVGO is also by the school. So pay attention. What they're doing is they pulling away from all of the gasoline and people are missing it. So you need to buy low and hold it. Just buy it and hold it, because for them to put that many charging stations in this area, there is over at what is that, Myers? They got 1, 2, 3,
Man,
4.
Myers got so many.
12. They got 12.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, they sparched off the back end of that parking lot. Did you pay attention to that?
Oh, well, I work in Walnut Hills, and I go to the Meyer. I guess it would be in Oakley. And every time I pull up, I mean, they have a row for the Teslas, and then they got a whole nother row, you know, for everybody else. And I mean, you just see cats sitting in there charging every time.
Well, they're working on the supercharger battery now. That's what I'm telling you guys. Buy the battery and hold it. Buy and hold. EVGO. I'm sorry.
The battery is EVGO.
Yep. You
Okay.
want to buy anything dealing with batteries, because remember when they started talking about marijuana and then they stopped talking about it? They talked about the battery, then they stopped talking about it. When they stopped talking about it, that's the clear time when you go and buy it. Because the minute Warren Buffetton and all them start talking about it, you late. You late.
I'm getting killed on my weed stocks. So somebody need to start smoking something or buying.
So okay, what weed stocks you got? I got Neo, I got CNN, Mulan, Alt, I had CRON, CGC, SNDL, TNPX. I got quite a few of them that I hold, but I bought the small ones and I buy like 1,000 of them. Because if you buy 1,000, that's only $200, less than $200.
Yeah, there was an oil stock during Corona that I made good money on. Like I bought it. I was buying
Which one?
It was. I don't think it started with an O. I don't think it was Oxy. It was something that was like going.
Neo, you sure it wasn't Neo or Boyle?
Nah, it's for sure started with an O. Me and one of my homeboys, he called me and told me about it. And literally I was just trading it like almost every day because it would just spike up real quick. And then I'd sell it, and it would drop, and I would just keep getting in and out of it.
Now, Kathy, when you said DraftKings, are you talking about the stock, or are you out there betting on games?
I'm talking about the stock, baby.
Okay, see, I thought you was betting on games for a second. I was like, is she on the over or the under on the All-Star game?
Right.
Yeah,
I ain't for the prophesy. I don't bet on that. I play the stocks. That's what I do.
I got you. I was messing with you.
No, I actually closed the call today. I paid $31 for it, and I made $254 off that one call. I'm mad because I should have got all 10 like I started messing with myself.
Yeah, well, after this podcast, Kathy, I think you need to start a group text with all of us and just let us know all your moves so we can just hop in.
But you know what? I go off of what I dream, and people think I'm crazy. When I told them, "Oh, you're playing in the mud. Let me play in the mud." So when I be telling my friends, say, "Look, how much mud is this, baby? How much mud?" And I just go for it. Let me tell you another one that you guys need to get in the hole. You want to try to go all the way back to, is this Chronos? I got Chronos. Don't get that one because I'm trying to watch him. Audit Alliance is a no, and I don't know why I dreamed that, but it's a part of the data centers. So there's one in Las Vegas, Henderson, which is I know we built. And something's going on and ain't nobody talking about it. When people don't talk about something, that's what you want to go look at. That's what you want to go look at. And that's how I made my money. I think last year, I probably closed out about $18,000 in stock money, positive. Positive.
I got SNDL. I'm getting killed on it.
Yeah,
but let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What did you buy SNDL at?
I got an SNDL at I'm trying to get back to the screen. Where did I get in at it?
If you click it, open it up and scroll down and show your position. It'll say shares at average cost.
I think I'm on the wrong screen for it.
Who you use?
Fidelity,
yeah. You scroll all the way to the right and click those pies and go down. I got all four. I got 4 things.
Let me go back. Oh, damn it, I closed it.
But stuff like that, you need to put over into Robinhood. That's what you need to do. You put that stuff over into Robinhood. Because
SNDL right now is $1.99, $1.99.
I need to find out what he bought it at.
During COVID, I remember y'all telling me about SNDL.
Yeah, SNDL climbed up.
Okay, yeah, I bought into SNDL at I was at like 17.
$17.
If I'm not mistaken, hold on.
If you at $17, put your head up here so I can hit you.
Has it ever made it up to $17?
No, it was. This was because I bought it a long time ago.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. So that means you're really upside down.
Okay.
That means you really upside down. SNDL ain't going back to that no time soon.
SNDL, where it says, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing.
You gotta hold it. You gotta hold on to that, man.
Now that's $17. He need to dump it.
He gotta hold it.
Yeah, you gotta ride that out.
You gotta ride it out.
I don't sell nothing.
Your kids might make a little something.
So let me tell you one thing you should do. E is that you need to make sure if you got it in the Robinhood. I buy all my pennies in Robinhood, and I'm telling you, Robinhood is my prostitute on the side because she brings me money every single day. You buy it over there because that's where you keep your pennies. If you got it at 17, I'm gonna beat you.
This is when it was booming. This is old. Like I don't sell nothing. I just hold it because it ain't a loss until you sell it.
Right.
Well, you can't gain it back until you sell it. $17.
But I don't know where I would go to see how long I've had it, but I've had this for probably.
It should be on your
drowning.
screen.
He's drowning in that CDL.
It's like overall, it only has me down like $238. Like it's not.
I mean, just
real money.
Let me give you $250. Sell it.
All right, you send me $250, I'll sell it right now.
Hey, E, lean into the camera, E, so she can smack you. Lean in. I want to see that. I want to see
on.
Good and sold. Go ahead.
You only got $29 worth, boy.
No, that's what it says. It says my most recent value. Like that's what my stock worth.
$29. So let me tell you.
I never seen a guest be so disappointed in you, E.
It said $1.99. So if it said $1.99 right now,
I'll never show how many shares I got.
You know what? That means I need to buy more to bring my average cost down.
You gotta buy a gang of more.
That means I only got what I got. Like I said, I bought it when it was Essence. This is probably like 2 years ago when You're right. And I bought it back then, and it was going up because they were buying Tilray. They bought Tilray. I bought Sunday.
I got hurt.
We all got Tilray.
Yeah, see, I didn't buy Tilray. I went and bought Sundial, and I was up on it for like a long time, and then the market just crashed.
She said, "Stop smoking that Sundial, man. Get off that Sundial."
And Tilray is what, $2.85? I got Tilray when it went all the way up to 14. But see, and it's still sitting at a hole.
I haven't touched my Tilray. I'm just gonna ride it out.
That's what I'm saying. If I ain't sell it, it ain't a loss till I sell it. And I'm not gonna sell it. I'm just gonna wait till people actually.
Oh Lord,
yeah,
I'm gonna give you some money.
She still wants to smack you. E.
I know. If she gonna pay me to cash this out, then it's good and sold.
I want to say about Beyond Meat. Y'all have Beyond Meat?
I did
Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat when it was low.
Beyond Meat,
good money off of it.
Beyond Meat is good, but I believe you should hold it because if you pay attention to what's Home Depot, Lowe's, and these farmers are doing, they're all going natural. Because in my backyard, I got a huge garden behind this wall, and I'm building a garden here for Forest Park. But Beyond Meat is definitely going to be good because a lot of people are trying to come away from it. Like coconuts. People are starting to eat more coconuts. Like fresh eggs. Nobody's buying eggs from the store now. So I actually get my eggs from the lady who owns the Harley dealership because she got yard chickens, and I get my cartons of eggs from her.
Which Harley dealership do you go to?
If you want to go buy one, you tell them Kathy Gray sent you. The Kathy Gray, and that's Powder Keg. Out in Mason, Ohio.
Let me tell you, I'm up on CPRX. I ain't looked at this in a while. This is up 230%.
Hold on, CPRX. Let me see.
CPRX. I bought it at like $4. It's at like $15.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she grew. She did really well. Well, maybe that'll balance you out.
Yeah,
that's all it is. That's the game though.
Overall, my portfolio is up. Now it's not extremely up, but I'm not losing overall.
Kathy has jokes for you. She said that would balance.
No, man, I'm about to sell her this.
Hey,
I'm gonna sell her this.
She's glad you winning somewhere.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. You got to get somebody to buy it. But I suggest, even though I got Weeble account, I got a Trade America, I got E-Trade, and I have a Robinhood. Robinhood is my play money. All my money, my real money is in my E-Trade account and then a MadTree account. That's where my real stuff, which means I'm laying on it. It's going to stay there until Jesus comes. Those are my big time stocks. That's where my big money is. But I don't have to watch it. But my play money are all these smaller ones where I make good money. That's how I travel.
Jesus gonna be
That's how
sad. Jesus gonna be
this.
sad that you bought that weed stock. He gonna have some questions. He gonna have some questions about that.
Earth, the good Lord made it, man.
Well, I mean, it's actually going to be a thing. So if you guys pay attention, what happened, I think it was October of 22, October of 21, when they started talking about all the weed stock. Remember when it just shot up and then all of a sudden went away?
Yeah.
And they all said crypto, you guys need to buy these NFTs, buy them. I kept telling everybody, don't, this squirrel. I said, don't. And everybody told, oh, you crazy. All them people lost their money. I put $100 in I call it Cryptotic. And Cryptotic, when it was low, snatched it, took my money out and quit. I'm like, I told y'all it wasn't going no higher. And it's not.
Well, my crypto is actually going up. I mean, it's doing a lot better than it was a couple of months ago.
What do you got? Ethereum?
I got
XLM?
I got Ethereum, Bitcoin, second Bitcoin.
Well, see, if you got it when it was like 0.000.1, you doing good. Anything below 5, you good. Everybody that got it when it was like 18, 19 cents, y'all still struggling.
Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin.
I got XRP. Ethereum is also good because they still mining. I do have that.
Yeah. Bitcoin's been around 24.
Yeah, and again, I play that on my Robinhood side. That's where my play money is. That's where the money I don't care. I ain't got to log in. I know I'm gonna make money, especially off the weed stock.
We definitely got to get you back on the show, Kathy.
I'm sorry. Hey.
Don't be.
This was excellent.
Yeah, this was
you got so much to share. You know, it feels like we just kind of touching the surface.
And we, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to shortchange any of the listeners just by like flying through stuff, but you have a lot of information. And like I said, that last little segment, I'm kind of glad Doug got us out of it. So I was like, man, my eyes is about to start leaking on the podcast, man. I'm like, man, like,
hey, we got a rule, Kathy, no crying on the podcast, you know.
But real talk, like that was powerful, man. Just to hear, you know, and I didn't expect that response when I said, where'd you get your passion from? It was just an honest question because you are very passionate about, you know, everything that you've done and the things that you're doing and your, you know what I'm saying, like your current businesses, your past career experiences. Like, that's awesome. So I want to thank you for, you know, being vulnerable on our show, on our platform. I'm sure whoever listens to it will definitely get something out of it.
Thank you.
I guess I should have had you on a long time ago, Kathy. I guess I should have had you on season 1.
You know we don't get along, Doug, so quit playing. It's a running joke. It's a running joke. When we first moved here, we would always say we didn't like each other. The kids would just look at us like, you know, saying like we fight, and they were like, and my niece, because we couldn't call me Aunt Kathy, she called me Aunt Kathy, and she was like, Aunt Kathy, why you and my daddy fight? I said, because I don't like him. He ain't my friend, and you know, we would just do things. But it's our running joke. God knows I love my brother-in-law, but you know, you never know someone's story. You never know someone's story until you send it, because there's more behind the smile. You know, even when my husband had his surgery and they lost him on the table when he had that back surgery, Doug, and they lost him on the table. I said, all I know is he came up in here. I said, call security because I'm ripping this whole place apart. They came in and looked at me. I said, please, not today. I am an angry Black woman. Get my husband back. Because they couldn't wake him up. And security was like, They walked off and left all the doctors and nurses with me. I said, you got 5 minutes. Get him up. Get him up. And that's when I realized that life was different for me, because I watched my husband pass and I was scared. And Doug, remember when he had the seizure and everything? All that stuff came behind that. And then I knew that I was going to be dangerous. I was going to be a dangerous person to be reckoned with, because I became passionate about everything. My life, my family, my children, and then we're a blended family. So I love life what it is. And only thing I can tell you guys, you got to learn to give. That's how you get it back. You know, I'm traveling. I'm going to be on some more TV shows. I had Survivor chasing me, Big Brother, my husband tripping. Oh, you're going to be gone long. I'm like, boy, this is $100,000. So all these people have asked me to come, and I'm like, nah.
Kathy, they would kick you off of Survivor so quick. And
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Because you know I'm scared of bugs,
you'll be the
Doug.
first,
You know I'm scared of bugs.
You'll be the first kicked off of both those shows.
Kathy, your time has come to an end.
No,
Your fire be like, your fire is out, Kathy. I'm just playing.
But think about it. Every show that I've been on, I've won.
You know what? You were on
Let's Make a Deal first.
Yeah, Make a Deal. Yeah, you were on Let's Make a Deal.
And Wayne Brady said to me, we're going to see more of you. And then all of a sudden my phone started ringing. I got another game show I'm about to be on. Well, it's not a game show. I can't say what it is, but I've been interviewed by 4 producers and now they want me to do this and do this. That's why my hair is straight. Then I got to put it back curly. I'm like, y'all figure it out. Jay Leno actually called me himself and because I was supposed to shoot August and they changed it to September. I said, I ain't coming.
That's when you lose me, Kathy. This is when you lose me. This is when we start arguing.
Whatever. And
talk about Jay Leno called you. This is when I'll say, no, that's boo. That's boo.
No, he did. Thomas will tell you because you knew that I was on that show. What was the name of his show? His new show he's doing. And I said I'm not going.
You know he got sick though. You know he's coming out of a bad. I guess he had a seizure or a coma or something. He was in.
He got burned out.
He's fired.
He's messing with his cars or something like that.
In his garage. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I actually got a chance. You bet your life that was it. And I was arguing with the producer. I'm like, I'm not coming because you changed my time. I said, no, Jay gonna have to call me himself. I said, tell him about the love ride. Talk to him about the young lady that led his 400 ride love ride. And he remembered it was me. Guess what? I won. And he called me. I'm like, I ain't going. I said, well, if I leave, I'm going to leave on Sunday and I'm going to be back on Monday. And they put me in an A1 hotel out the Hilton and flew me out and flew me back. And I was the first tape, got right back on the plane. And guess what? Mine hit so many views because when I say, you want to take this ride with me? They played that commercial for about 6 months.
Really?
Even CBS played Wayne Brady for almost a year. I'm like, what? And he said, we're going to see more of you. Then the phone calls kept coming.
Well, make sure you tell people that you was on the Hops and Stocks team.
Right, exactly.
That's why I was asking, where can I send it? Doug said, it's not live. Because I got all the people that's on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, the Twitterations, they wanted to hear it tonight. I'm going to let them know.
Well, when we post it next week, you'll be able to point them to it.
Point it. You know what I'm saying? I expect this to be our highest viewed episode because you're gonna promote the heck out of it.
Yeah, you better tell Jay Leno too.
Yeah, Jay Leno better sign in and follow the Hops and Stocks podcast.
Hey, Kathy, tell everybody what you're working on. I know you said your 2 books. Anything you want to promote and get out there real quick before we sign off?
Yeah, I need everybody to go to my website. It's called thecathygray.com. That's THEE. Kathy Gray, GRAY.com, where you'll be able to see my book. It launches this weekend. I will be at the Breakthrough Conference in Hot Atlanta, which is Buckhead, in Atlanta, Georgia, February 24th, 25th, and 26th. However, you will get a 30-minute interview with me. I'll walk you through any process of your business, show you how to launch that business from start to finish. If you purchase my book today, you get 15% off. And the book is $17.99, and it's called The Kathy Gray. The 28 Days of Me talks about how to be inspirational, how to push, and how to understand you as a person. I do this quite often because I want to remind people you are the strongest you that will ever be. No matter what, if you fall down, you have another opportunity to get up. Yesterday's gone. You get to start over. Same palette, start over. And the only way you can make it is hanging out with me. Again, I'm your girl, D. Kathy Gray. As I always say, if no one told you the day they love you, guess what? I love you, and I really do mean it. Be blessed, take care of yourself, and guess what, guys? Thank you so much.
And
that was perfect.
That's a wrap, man.
Yeah, that's
a commercial. We don't have to do the commercial.
That's a wrap. I'm seriously, I'm not saying nothing else. We out of here.
All right.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
Yep.
You guys take care. Have a good one.
Shell of a man if we ever depart. From my heart to I'm riding with you.
I'm riding with you.